Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Business Leaders. My name is Lance Cardoza, and this show has been brought to you by Flooring Liquidators. On today's show, the real estate market is hot. It's a time to buy your property. It's a time to maybe sell your investment and travel the world. And it also is a time where rents are hot right now, so it might be a great investment for you looking to purchase real estate. On today's show, I have two gentlemen that are experts in this field, and both of them are from Allstate Homes and Real Estate and also Accelerate Home Loans. And Sid Delatorre and also Noe Cruz. Yes. Thank you so much for being on Business Leaders. I appreciate having you guys on today. How are you doing?
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us. We're doing great, and we're happy to be here.
Awesome. So we were talking about how home sales are very it's hot right now. It's hard to get a property. How are you seeing that in the real estate market right now? Are there a lot of available homes for sale today?
Well, currently there's a few more homes coming out on the market, which is great for the consumers, for those that are wanting to buy. However, in the past few months, it has been pretty tight inventory, and that's what has been driving up the prices of homes dramatically, which makes it even more difficult for your regular buyer here in Fresno County to be able to afford a home. But we're seeing a little bit of more inventory nowadays, not as much as we would want, but we're seeing it.
You're seeing it. And then Sid, do you see where it's a good time if you have an investment in your home, maybe refinancing opportunities? What do you see that currently?
Right. I mean, it's a really good time to refinance your home right now because the interest rates are at a historic low. So if you have something like a 5% or higher, 4%, you should be thinking about refinancing. But not only that, we can, you don't have to reset your loan for another 30 years. We can do like a 15, 18, 14, 12-year loan, new loan. So you pay off your home faster at the same monthly payment.
At the same monthly payment. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of people watching the show right now with business leaders, maybe are thinking, I've got to get a hold of these guys. I got to talk to them and find out what I can do for my family's investment and the home. What do they do to get a hold of you guys, and how do they? A lot of times too, as I think in real estate too, is just simply talk to a professional and help guide them, and maybe give you ideas that you didn't think about or knew they were possible.
That would be the primary step that a buyer would want to take. Talk to a realtor so that they can express where you are in the situation and give you the options that you are looking for so that you can have a good purchase. Primary thing is, talk to a lender. That way you know how much you can afford. You don't want to be driving around the city of Fresno and thinking that you can afford a home and then find out that it's just out of your reach. So the very first thing you got to do is talk to a lender, like my business partner here, Sid. And then once you figure out how much you can afford, talk to a realtor. Take a look at the different options that are out there so that you can get into a good home, not only good home, but also be able to negotiate a good purchase.
Absolutely. And you guys are very community oriented, and also about your roots. We're right here in this valley, and I knew a little bit about your story talking to you. We had a conversation from education to Fresno State graduate. There's a lot that you have a deep rooted community aspect. I really wanted to do something for your community and people that come in that you serve in your area. Sid, Fresno State.
Right.
And go Dogs.
Oh yeah, go Dogs. Now my daughters are in Fresno State.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. We're getting ready for football and everything's going great. So on your move towards real estate, what led you to that, Sid? What took you to financing and doing that? What was the spark for you to be in this industry?
Well, I had a job at Kaiser when I graduated from Fresno State with my master's degree. I had a job at Kaiser, and then I was there for about 10 years, and I started dabbling in real estate investing part-time on the weekends, and I just decided to make a leap into starting my own business full-time, and so that's kind of like how I got started. It was just one of those things that I've always been passionate about, having my own business and real estate and mortgages.
Mortgages and helping people. I think both of you, when I had a conversation, it seemed like you guys are really helping somebody to their financial future with their investments and their properties, and and working as a team from the real estate side to the mortgage home side. And a lot of times you don't have that internal team situation. As you can tell, you guys work very closely as a team. And Noe, you had an education background
Yes.
before you got into real estate here with Allstate. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Madera. I migrated from Veracruz, Mexico when I was 10 years old. Learned English as a second language, and just grew up not knowing very much about education. My main goal was to work in the field, so I didn't have an aspiration to do anything with my life because I didn't know any better. Luckily, I found some really good mentors, leaders, and counselors that guided me through the process of going through school. Eventually decided to go into education because I did want to get back to my community and wanted to share the knowledge that I gained through these mentors, and that gave me the aspiration to do something good for my community. That's why I decided to go into education, became an instructional aide, a teacher, vice principal, and a principal.
Oh, so you did the administration side
I
too.
did the administration side.
Oh, you went to
Unfortunately,
the evil side.
yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? I gotta take off my hat for all those people that are in administration.
Yeah.
They do a lot of work. They're very dedicated, very committed. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah. And I say that jokingly. I have a lot of school administration friends
Yes,
who know that's an
yes.
ongoing joke, especially with the educator side.
Definitely. And my forte is teaching, educating people, sharing knowledge. And so I decided to, shift gears in my career and do the real estate. And it was during the time when the downturn of the economy was hitting really hard, 2009, 2010. And so I thought, hey, people were discouraging me from going into real estate because they were telling me, well, everybody that's doing real estate is leaving the industry. What are you doing going in there?
Yeah.
Well, I thought, you know what? Somebody has to help these people learn how to invest. Somebody has to help educate these people and make wise decisions in their investment. And what better person than me? And so then I also thought, well, who's going to sell those homes that these people are losing?
Yeah.
I better sell them.
Yeah.
And so,
I want to be the
yeah,
one
I want to be the one. And so, I went into it, and lo and behold, I'm still here. Studies have shown that 9 out of 10 realtors leave the industry after 5 years, and it's not because they got rich, it's because they just couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Luckily, this is my 11th year. I'm still here and thriving, and I have a great partner here that has been very supportive from the beginning, and I'm very grateful and blessed.
Awesome. We're going to take a short break here with business leaders. And Noe and Sid, appreciate you being on the show. When we come back, I want to talk about a little bit of that spark. Who was it for you that got you to make that leap and jump into this during shark-infested water times as they collapse? And then we want to talk about financing and talking about what people need to do to get their finances in order, get their real estate plan put together, and how they do that with you folks. So when we return right here on Business Leaders, don't go away. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Business Leaders. You can find Business Leaders at businessleaders.tv. If you have a guest or a suggested guest you'd like to see here on Business Leaders at KMPH Fox 26, make sure you email us below, and we'll take a look at that and get our producers to get you in on a Business Leaders segment. On today's show, we're talking real estate. I have Noe Cruz and also Sid Del Toro.
Delatorre, yeah.
Delatorre, and you're with Allstate Homes and Accelerate Home Loans, and we're talking about that pivotal moment in the first segment. You're talking about, Noe, that sometimes it takes somebody to believe in you or tells you can't do it, and it motivates you, or like you said, to help somebody.
Yes.
I know I can help somebody, and maybe it's an opportunity because a lot of these homes, someone needs to sell them again, and I can jump in. What was that pivotal point for you, Noe, that said, I can do this? Someone believes in me, or I believe in myself. Who was that, or?
It all started with when I met Sid, and it was a very difficult transition for me because at the time, like I said, people were losing their homes, and with my educational background, I knew that just doing some research, learning the process, I would be able to share that knowledge. Sid came in telling me, "Hey, Noe, you know what? In any market, people are making money, and right now, people need education." People need the knowledge to be able to survive these hardships that a lot of people are going through. And so that's when I thought, hey, then what better person to do it than me? I can jump in, help people, educate people, and making these wise decisions that are very important in their lives.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it did happen, and we're still here. We're still helping families. We're still educating families, and it's just something that I love to do. Just making sure that people are achieving that American dream, which sometimes is very difficult for some people to believe that they can achieve it.
They can achieve.
Yes.
Sometimes it takes somebody to believe in them.
Exactly.
And show them the roadmap. And Sid, like you helped Noe to see that in himself, you probably had many clients during that time of when the Fannie Mae and everything was collapsing, to where you helped people get out of a very terrible situation, but you saw them come back later, I'm sure, and to buy a home again and be able to do that, and you helped them through that process. During that time, did you see that happening?
Yes, during the 2007 downturn, we saw a lot of people in trouble, and they came to us. We were able to help them out and set them up for a future, home or future investment. So that's how we were able to really help people through those tough times. And of course, now we have a lot of our customers coming back to us, wanting to sell their investments, wanting to buy more property. Now their kids are coming back saying, "Hey, you know what, Sid and Noe, we need help." And so our company is a one-stop shop where you can come in the front door, get a loan, and that same day get a real estate agent assigned to you, get show properties that weekend, and on Monday be in escrow, and in 30 days you get your keys. So that's how we've kind of set up our system.
No, but and you feel when you have the kids calling you and you have the whole family unit, you know you're doing something right.
Yes.
You know you've helped them through that process, or maybe a difficult time or a difficult decision. Talk to me about an investment in this rental market too, because I know a lot of people are buying homes and the rental prices are very high, and it could be a great property investment for that as well.
Yeah, rents. Well, as you know, in Fresno, rents have gone up. So some rents are high enough so where you're paying the same amount of rent as you would be able to probably purchase a home. So why not just go ahead and purchase a home and be owning it, and not have to deal with the landlord getting kicked out, all the things that come with being a renter.
Yeah.
So when you're not for everybody, but when you're ready to make that move, owning a home is a great opportunity for many Americans. I mean, most Americans that have become wealthy have made their wealth through real estate. And so coming to us, free consultation, come to our office. We can sit down and talk to you on to see what the strategies we have. We just had one of Noe's clients come, and he was a retired correctional officer at a Corcoran, a vet, and we were talking about setting him up to buy his first investment property.
Wow. And do you see also too, because you speak Spanish, that it makes a big difference for a family to be able to truly understand the investment? Maybe Spanish is his first language, to where you can really make them feel comfortable with what you're doing for them at all?
Yes, especially with the Hispanic community that
Yeah.
doesn't speak English. It's very difficult for them to believe that they can actually own a home.
Yeah.
My mom didn't own a home until I was like 19 years old. And if it wasn't for her, I don't think that I would have decided to have committed to going to college. And so that was a huge, huge push for me, seeing her have a home, not knowing English, and just by working in the fields.
Yeah.
And it's that story that actually pushes me to reaching out to more families that don't speak English, and so that we do a first-time home buyer seminars in Spanish at our office, and so we just like to share the opportunities that are out there for our Spanish-speaking communities that sometimes have challenges or doubt the system that may not help them the way they want to be helped.
And trust.
Exactly.
They can trust, and they know you've done it, and you can share your experience in their language and tell you exactly what they should be doing and what they could be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
exactly.
I could see that as a big strength that you guys have on your team. How does someone get involved with those seminars?
Well, we schedule them throughout the year, and we pretty much market on Facebook, on social media. I'm also a board member for the Community Housing Council, so sometimes we share that information with them. They share information with us. We send home buyers to their courses as well.
Exactly.
And so, we like to ensure that the community is getting the information that they need to be able to learn what it's like to go through a transaction, what it's like to own a home and to sustain the home. And I know that the Community Housing Council does a really good job. We do a really good job at bringing in the people to educate them as well and giving them their options, the process, and that they need to take to be able to buy a home.
To buy a home. And when we come back, Sid, I want to talk about that opportunity for those people when we return here on Business Leaders. Sid, okay. Welcome back, everybody, to Business Leaders here on KMPH Fox 26. My name is Lance Cardoza. I've been sitting here with Noe and Sid with Allstate Homes and also Accelerate Home Loans. And before the break, Sid, we were talking about what's the first step. And a lot of times it's a scary part of what do I qualify for, or instead of going around and finding out what you don't qualify for, Noe, you suggested this, is you start with your department and talk about financing and see where you are. What's the first thing they need to do?
Well, the first thing they need to do is give us a call so that we can talk about what you're looking for. What do you want to do? Buying a home to live in, an investment, to sell, that type of thing. But if you're wanting to buy, then the first thing you would need to do is probably run your credit to see what kind of credit score you have. Credit is big in our business as far as lending money. So sometimes you'd be surprised we can get you a loan with a not so great credit. Everybody's got a little tarnish, here and there. So a lot of people can get a home with not so great credit. If you don't have great credit, we can help you get to that point where you can afford, get a credit score to buy a home. And so after that, then it would be just basic documentation like your pay stubs, your tax returns, those kind of things.
Yeah.
And then really, we like to really guide you step by step in the process so it's not so nerve-wracking for you. And then once we get to the point, we'll tell you, hey, you qualify for X amount of dollars, so this is the homes that you can see. We'll hook you up to a real estate agent and get you going. Yeah.
Terrific. And you got a great real estate agent
Yes.
here, from what I'm hearing here. And then so you could refer over to go do what you need to do. And I think that's what's really good, being in-house, to where you could talk together to be able to help that family find that end goal and what they're looking to do. And you don't waste time that way.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, experience is everything. Just like a great attorney, just like a great whatever, they have experience. I've been in the business 18 years. Our company has been in the business 18 years. So we have it pretty much down to where we know what we're doing. We minimize the amount of headaches for the borrower or buyer coming in, and we try to make it as much of a pleasant experience as possible. Especially when we hook you up to a real estate agent like Noe. He's very personable, and he gets the main thing is he gets the job done.
That's a job done. And I think you educate them. You
Yes.
sure you haven't left education?
I have
you
not.
educate them on the whole process, so there's no surprises.
And that's big for
Yeah.
them because as it is, they're very stressed about the whole situation, and you want to make the process smooth. You want to make sure that they're aware of throughout the whole entire transaction, where they're at, where they're heading, and how long it's going to take for them to close. And you constantly have to be calling them at least a couple of 3 times a week, just to check in, even
Yeah.
if it's just to say, hey, things are going well, stay put. We should be hearing some more information coming soon. And I think that's really big right now for especially the communities that we work here with.
Yeah.
They want to be aware and they want
Yeah.
to know where they're heading. And so
Yeah.
30 days can meet for them is like a lifetime.
Yeah. That first-time buyer, you're
Yes.
stressed the whole time. You don't know if something's not going right, so it's great when you have an agent that's following up with you and staying with you tight. And you have the ear of the lender to have the conversation right away, potential issues, we could resolve it quickly
Exactly.
to keep things going. So that's great. And Sid, what made you get into this business? What was it for you that was a tipping point that said, this is my business?
Well, I come from a farm working family, so we grew up in apartment complexes pretty much most of my young life. And so home, when I used to drive by people's houses, big houses, I'd be like, wow, that's somebody lives in there?
Yeah.
And I'd be
How's
like,
that possible?
how's that possible? I
Yeah.
didn't know that could happen. And so it just, homes and having my dream home always kind of propelled me to like start looking, well, how do I get into home? How do I get into the business? And so,
Yeah.
I mean, I still, after 18 years, love looking at homes. I'll go inside a house and like, wow, this is a killer home. I want one like that.
Hey, you got a new client.
Yeah, right here.
So he knows where to
Need
get
a realtor?
financing.
Right here.
Yeah, I'll finance myself.
He'll finance himself, and you
Yes.
find him the right deal.
Exactly.
I
I'll
love it.
negotiate the good deal for him.
Oh, so you have a very similar story, and the story a lot of times is like, is it possible for me? And I think sometimes people look at that and they think it's unattainable, or they look at that and maybe heard a horror story of a situation that didn't work for somebody. But that doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. And you have to find the right team and the right people that care about people and to see the process through. And I think that's what it sounds like what you guys do very well.
And
at
that's one of the
Allstate.
things that attracted, I think, me and Noe. We've been partners for, I think, over, I don't know, maybe 12 years already. We have very similar backgrounds. Grew up in farm working families. Didn't have a lot of opportunity and resources, but we just kind of worked really, really hard to get where we're at. And I think that work ethic that we brought from being out with our parents working in the fields, we just brought it here, and now we work in air-conditioned offices. What more do you want?
And you're bringing the American dream to people.
It's an American
Yes.
dream.
Yes.
We want to provide that dream to as many people. We can't help enough people to get the American dream, because for us it's much satisfaction for us.
Yes.
Tell me, and Sid, we'll start with you, and then Noe, I want to ask you, but if there's a young person like yourselves that's sitting watching television here on KMPH Fox 26 with business leaders, and I remind everybody, you can go to businessleaders.tv to find the past episodes and more content. But real quickly, Sid, what would you say to that person that's you at home that maybe has a future in this business?
Right. Well, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I mean, growing up in rough neighborhoods in Fresno, getting into trouble, got lucky a lot of times, but also people, adults, people that came up to me and saw the potential in me, and they steered me in the right direction. My parents, of course, but other mentors steered me in the right direction and got me out of trouble and got me onto the right path.
And made you
But
believe,
if
yeah.
I can do it, anybody can do it. I know that, and I think Noe, I don't know, he can speak for himself.
Same, and
about
real
it.
quickly, Noe, we're almost wrapping up, but
I just say believe that you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. There's no barrier out there that can hold you back but the one that you set for yourself.
Awesome.
And just hook yourself up with a mentor, with somebody that believes in you, and you'll make it.
awesome. Thank you so much, Allstate Homes and Accelerate Home Loans. That's all the time we have on Business Leaders. Thank you guys so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sid. Thank you for guys coming on. I think, and that's the big thing too, is I always look at, it takes one person to believe in you. I heard a story one time that said a kid came in and hurt his knee, and the doctor was talking to him, so you're a pretty smart kid. You should be a doctor. And then maybe that's all it took. Just a little bit of
Yes.
believe in you and let you know that it's possible. And a lot of times too, we get so busy, we forget that our words can be so powerful
Yes.
and change your life. And
Definitely.
maybe that life comes works for you.
It could either
Sells a lot
push
of
you or
homes.
break you.
And
Yeah,
no one
exactly.
ever,
And there's
no one
people
ever
that
told
don't.
that kid that he could be a doctor.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
just-
and he leaves the doctor's office saying,
yeah, and a lot of people go through that